over here. The Harley passing by is reminding me to say Thich Nhat Hanh's bell mantra, to honor the neighbors, the passers-by, the ancestors, any others passing by, like the ER, fire station, I guess they're called. The ambulance, I guess they're called. And that bell mantra, trying to ring my bells, goes something like this. Thanks to Thich Nhat Hanh. Mind, body, speech in perfect oneness. I send my heart along with the sound of the bell. May ears awaken from forgetfulness and transcend all anxiety and sorrow. Om. Peace. Shanti. Thank you. So we've been attempting to Dada on Thursdays. And so this is that. And we're a little late. And we are thinking to do a live at 8. And it didn't happen. And that's got to be all right. Immersed in adoption spirit magic. Dancing away from those fight, flight, freeze, fuck, fun. Grief struck by loss, fearful, authoritative, sad, gone mad amygdala. Cycling emergency states. So thank you for joining us in that and for exercising all those extra bits and pieces it takes to do that. Like, hey, I was thinking I'd be here at 8 and, well, it's not that. Now I'm filming it and I'm going to post it. Who knows when. But God willing, tonight, Thursday night. All right, so as you can see, we are winging it, trying to figure out what feels nice, and I may have missed my mark, or maybe I'm just still making it here. Mixing up some paint. And this idea that came to me, glory be, in late July. I can't prove that. I do have notes in my August reading for myself, verifying that, but whether or not that's written down somewhere else, like in a journal, I'm not quite sure. So anyhow, now we are finally getting to that on a Dada night. Dada. Oops. So I have these extra towels here just for that. I don't know if you noticed. I accidentally hit a corner with paint over here. So just wiping that away. Oops. Trying to exercise that standard anger glass, like, you know, stuff happens. And just thinking it's all working out for the best, like this lighting. What's up with that? I'm not a lighter. So yeah, this piece, it's very naive. I do naive art, if you have not noticed, because it's fun to also to inspire others, to even a child to do their own, because it's fucking righteous. Folk art. We all are artists. Some say, like, we are all teachers, fortune tellers. All right, so let's see if I can do this and keep you involved. So I'm just going to do a simple frame, and then this piece that came to me, and maybe you've seen it. It started coming up lately. I noticed. Well, that's fun. I appreciate how that appears. It is Labor Day weekend here in the United States of America. Sending out lots of love to all of you immersed in the adoption spirit magic, who have danced away from those adoption fairy tales, gypsy myths, and your life isn't the same. And neither is that of your families, any of them. However that pans out for you. So sending you all hugs, love, and just thanking you for being so courageous and brave. And staying true to you as that keeps shifting. And so I'm also just loving everybody at every part of their journey who may be tuning into this. Perhaps some of you are like, what do you mean? Adoption fog, adoption fairy tales, gypsy myths. What are you talking about? You may just be starting to examine, explore, and you may discover, oh, you want to know more, or you may say, hey, not for me, I'm going to change the channel now. So that is awesome, right? You got to do you. And this is a democracy. So while we're here, I'm feeling called to share disclaimers. I'm not a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist. I'm a fortune teller. You know, a folk artist. And so what I offer is no substitute for a doctor, a lawyer, a therapist. And so I enjoy inviting you to use your gifts of discernment to see what resonates with you, right? Take only what resonates and blow like a kiss the rest back to the universe for cosmic composting into beauty. And this is intended for fun and games, for shits and giggles, for entertainment, for flexing our heart, mind, body, soul, spirit, emotions, and intuition. And at the least, I hope to cause harm to none. At the most, I hope I may assist you on your healing path. So now I am looking for a stick. A stick. To assist me. My partner has assembled some sticks, some wands in between here and there. Yes. So it is also sort of late. 9:30. The walls have ears. And so I apologize for that. And the glare. You know, look at that. Nope, I don't think that's gonna happen like that. Maybe you can just bear with the glare for right now, because I can't quite figure that out. I can't quite wrap my head around that. And I thought I was gonna draw a line, but not quite yet. Come over here. Oh my God, that glare. God bless it. Let's do this. Oh my God, the glare is still right on that part. God bless it. Yeah, so lots of energy swirling around. All we gotta do is go slow, stay safe, right? I don't want to alarm, but, and also quadruple check me, right? Oh my God, that glare. I think I just can't stress about it. Oh my God. I gotta stop. Figure this out. Let's see. How is that even possible? That's so funny that it's like right where I want to paint is where the glare is. Okay, you have to laugh or else, you know. Yeah, so lots of energy swirling around. Just quadruple check me. You know, the suicide and overdose season is in effect. So whatever you can do to keep yourself safe and sound, going super slow, listening to your sweet soul, your mind, your body, your heart, your intuition, so you can stay safe. Please, thank you. Us too. We are just working to do that. For some reason, I can't quite figure this out with the dynamics here. It's not as easy as it looks. Trying to paint and share. Okay. Well. And then not get upset. Like, why? Why isn't this so simple? Because we're humans on planet Earth. This matter is so dense. All right, well, maybe I don't need my stick. All right, did you see what just happened? Oh my God. I decided that I didn't want to bring up extra newspaper because, like, I'm not gonna make a mess. Come on. I mean, that's just a little drop. All right, so I just put my little slop on it again, wiped it up. Just so you can see what's happening here. All right, let's try this again. So this piece I'm working on began in 2012, and then this year I added layer upon layer upon layer to it. as an activity for the Gathering of the Creatives by Hierophant Publishing, I do believe. And I think it was, well, I'm not going to say the name because I'm not sure. There's quite a few people presenting there. And so one of them did a workshop where the end result was doing layers and layers over this to infuse it with our energy and be an inspirational piece that this layer upon layer upon layer has gone into an intention and thought. And so then that ended up with this background that you see. And so that was in January. No, that was last September. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's all right. Apparently the squiggles are just going to have to work themselves out. And Heffron is a brilliant writer and adoptee activist and so much more. And she reminded me that as an adoptee, there is this point where it's so challenging to even get to this point of being creative because we are so busy treading water trying to survive in the same cutoff culture that orphaned us initially and has been orphaning us systemically since we were adopted. And so this Dada, playing my cards, is this Dada night, and then also playing my cards are ways to overcome that. Right? So when I began playing my cards in the year 2000, perhaps you've heard me share the story already. Part of my job is to repeat myself like a happy broken record. But I began playing my cards because I was frustrated. I was teaching, and due to the rigors of teaching, I wasn't able to get to my art. So I thought, okay, well, I'll just do one piece of art on a note card. One per day for a year to jumpstart my art in the year of 2000, because if note cards can help me learn a language or learn how to learn my multiplication tables or learn how to learn certain teaching facts, then they could help me make my art happen. So I started doing one card per day in the year of 2000. And one of, sometimes those cards looked like a grocery list. Literally, it was a list for the groceries. Sometimes they were doctor's notes. You get the drift. Like, just honoring what comes up in that day and how liberal art can be, right? It's just an art to live. And so that's when I began to play my cards in earnest in the year 2000. And that was one of the reasons why, was to get to my arts. And then fast forward to 2012, actually 2011, right at the end of the year, November, December, late November, early December. And I was invited to share my art at the first ever in the USA female gypsy art, history, and culture exhibit by Voice of Roma, hosted at the Petaluma Historical Museum in Petaluma, California, and that was thrilling. So, all that to say, playing your cards can make your beyond belief dreams come true. It wasn't just that I earned that exhibit, that it raised awareness, and it also earned congressional recognition. It raised awareness for Romani, and it earned congressional recognition, and it was held in the former first free public library of California, which was extra thrilling for how much I love words, languages. And so all that to say, again, playing your cards makes your dreams come true. One of those cards I wrote in the year 2000 said, pardon me, I might have forgotten this part, I am artist. So just on a 3x5 card, I wrote, I am an artist. And I might have used Prisma pencil to write it, and I might have written it all in capitals, nice and neat. And that was a dream I had given up on perhaps in elementary school, seeing how most of the artists that I saw in museums were dead. I gave up on that dream, on top of the fact I thought I wasn't a worthy artist. My talents weren't up to snuff. Anyhow, so playing your cards, doing the art, and then those times when it's so challenging, like I couldn't get to my art due to the rigors of teaching. You know, you could fill in all the different reasons why, you know, it's challenging for you. And so how to make that more manageable. So now fast forward to 2023, and we thought we'll do this, try to do art once a week, Dada night, in honor of the Dadaism. And one of the other artists who was involved in the Voice of Roma 2012 Roma Crossing Borders exhibit, Zelena. You may find her at zelena.com. She was very inspiring to me during that time, and ever since. And expanded my view of Dadaism. So Dada, here we are, Dada. You can explore more on your own to see how it resonates with you, the Dada, and what it is, if you don't already know. And again, part of the reason I enjoy doing this is to allow you to access your own. Keep it simple, or however you want, like, right? You're brilliant. Keep trusting how that plays out. And this creativity is one of the pieces that helps us. Let me restate that. Let me rephrase this. The loss and trauma that we have, that we experience, quote unquote, have, there's gold in there for us. And one of the ways we tap into that is through our creativity, some say. So, all of that to say, these are reasons why we are here. sharing with you. And thank you so much for joining us and inspiring in your own ways, doing your dues as only you can. Whoa. Alrighty, let's see here. I am enjoying how this yellow is turning. It's not yellow. Yellow hue. That's so funny. I can't read what it says because I painted it over it in orange. So I don't normally watch TV. I stopped watching the news religiously the day the Twin Towers tumbled, and I saw people leaping from the buildings on the news. And I said, this isn't for me. Just all the other reasons not to tune into mainstream media, but every now and again, it's like the Gym Network or a random old show to get a history lesson, or some modern show to get a history lesson, things of that nature, craft shows. But tonight, it was this show called Tell the Truth. I'm like, oh, this sounds interesting, right? Fortune teller. The show Tell the Truth. And the episode we happened to tune into was featuring, basically they have one contestant, but they bring on multiple people, and you have to guess which is the actual contestant they're describing. And so the person they were describing was Dorothy DeBolt, who had adopted multiple children from all over the world and looks like the United Nations. And these are phrases out of the show. She adopted the first Black child born without any legs or arms, was one of the other things they said. And oh my God, I can't tell you too much more than that because I'm still processing, like, wow, did my parents see that? Was that one of the things that inspired them to adopt? And one of the judges was like, oh, you have our undying appreciation and love and admiration. How did he say it? Something like, just letting it be known how much parents who adopt are revered by the community. And then they were sharing the adoption story and just sharing, like, wow, they don't even have enough money to pay for food for these children. And then they were talking about the children's different faith. Oh, we just raise them all as, the same Unitarian. So the inequity of the social contracts was coming out, as well as this adoption fairy tale. Oh my. So I'm just still like, oh my God. Processing that. Trying not to react so horrified, judgmental, all of that, but also honor my authentic reactions, which is like, oh God, help us all. Because, if that's what you're signing up for, you're going to be sorely disappointed. Oh, God bless it. I mean, I apologize. what I am trying to say is, if you are signing up for adoption and you lack the financial resources in the same way that their birth parents did, and lack the appreciation for the higher aspects of the birth cultures where the children are coming from, there could be some moments of contention later on when the children are realizing what has happened, and everything that goes with those inequitable contracts. So, yeah, deep, right? Especially on this weekend. This is a weekend, not only is it Labor Day weekend, this is a weekend that my adoptive family gathers traditionally, and I'm not there. I don't plan on going there at this juncture. We are immersed in adoption spirit magic. We are out of the fog of adoption fairy tales and gypsy myths, and just want to honor the fact that not everybody is in that place. Right? Not everybody signed up to adopt me. That was something that came up in the Tell the Truth show. It was like, somehow this family that was adopting the it was like something like 14 or 27, some really, I mean, large amount. Like when I used to work at the treatment centers for teens who were placed there by court or court ordered or by their parents for an assortment of different reasons. There's a ratio. Like if there were 6 kids, there needed to be at least 1 staff. If there were 7 kids, then we need to have at least 2 staff there, right? So 1 staff per 6 kids. And this couple in the Tell the Truth wasn't abiding that even. And that's not to say this place where I worked was a model of excellence. They were not. But that standard stood out to me as relevant as like, hey, you really want to serve the youth, then you have a ratio. You don't overload the adults with too many youth. You allow a youth to have a little more space with the adult. And so that youth can be heard and get their needs met. That's funny. All right, so here we are. I have gone to all these different places I wasn't planning on going. Dada! So I didn't check to see when that Tell the Truth was made. It looked like 70s. Could have been 60s. Anyways, yeah. Let's see what's next. Yeah, I got a little sidetracked. It's quadruple check me, but it's suicide, homicide, overdose season. And so whatever you can do to just take sweet care of yourself. Yes, I did go there. Okay, part of my job is to repeat myself like a happy broken record. I mean, how can it be happy when you're talking about these sorts of things? Well, somebody's got to do it. At least I'm making an attempt. And it's far from perfect, so that's fucking awesome. All right, so I'm just trying to figure out. I have a couple last things before this is done. It's almost done, the big piece. So this is a basic frame that I enjoy doing, that you saw me lay out on here. And let's see. All right, here we're going. So the other piece that's occurring to me to share is that just taking extra sweet care of yourself on weekends, holidays, those times when we know that the activity amps up. Those who are still in the adoption fairy tale fog, the gypsy myth fog. I used to be one of them, you know, and I heard enough people and I'm like, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. But all this to say, you know, so these times like holidays, like this weekend's a holiday, and there's people perhaps around that you know, and you feel that they're talking about you and it's not positive. So taking extra sweet care of yourself to give yourself the space, the protection, whatever that looks like for you, and to not take it personally, because here in Adoption Spirit Magic, we understand it's nothing personal. It's that grief struck by loss, fight, flight, freeze, fuck, sad, gun, mad, amygdala, fearful. And so we just allow ourselves extra time and space to process, to clear our space, to honor our intuition if we feel like we need to bow out and go take care of ourselves in certain ways, or like we can't even go to a certain space. For example, a room full of people that are still operating under the adoption fairy tales or the gypsy myths or the matriarchy or the patriarchy, that grief struck by loss, amygdala, cycling emergency states. You know, if you got to stay out of the room so you don't subject yourself to that madness, nor do you end up mirroring the madness, right? All those times I mirrored the madness, God bless it. So just you know, we can lean into the gratitude for understanding these different cards to play now, and as challenging as it is, as much as it may hurt and unfair and all of that, well, now we know, and so that helps us play through and detach and not take it personally. And yeah, that is such a blessing. Yeah, I know it's so challenging. It doesn't even begin to explain it. And so there's points on my journey where I was not grateful. No. And so, you know, honoring that part of the challenge, and also just trusting in my heart of hearts. Wow, I just gotta follow my heart. Step out of the fog. As much as I love my families that are operating under those assumptions, I can't do it anymore. It was at my own health, risk of my own health. And what do they say? One person's medicine is another's poison. And I would offer, if you are in the fog, of adoption, fairy tales, and gypsy myths, and you really want those to work out and be true, you really want to adopt a baby, an animal, an alien, a culture, a land, to help you overcome your own loss, as a prescription to help you overcome your own loss, then I invite you to work on that beforehand. And also know that during, you may look forward to that work as well, with each step along the way, that your adoptee is doing their work and it's bringing up your own work. And so on top of you helping them through theirs, which may include them taking their grief out on you, and you being able to react without punishing them, without taking it personally, even though it may mirror your own upbringing. It may be confusing, or it may remind you of your own parents, even though this is your child. You may feel like your child is treating you like your parents are used to treating you. I mean, there's so many different ways it plays out. So just to have the heads up and to do your work, your loss work on your own. And that's part of the reason I really enjoy helping people play their cards, because it offers that to anyone, not just the orphan and adoptee. How do you work through your loss? Because they're that challenging. And so I offer a way to play through it. It's not to say that it eliminates dark nights of the soul and things of that nature. Not at all. Like, that's part of your work. That's part of what we signed up to do. Everybody's got a different curriculum and a different set of lessons. And so playing your cards honors that. It helps you suss out what's yours, what's not yours, right? So many different ways. So maybe you can see what we have happening here. I feel like I need a little more paint there. Now, if you would enjoy this piece, let me know. And highest bidder before next Thursday wins it. The highest bidder who's willing to share their details so it can be sent. And portion of the proceeds will be shared with adoptee activists or Roma activists, or perhaps both, depending on the donation. I'm sorry, the contribution. Oopsie. We are so grateful for you showing up, helping us breathe life into adoption spirit magic, helping shuffle states of emergency into adoption spirit magic. So grateful. Oh my God, do I have my Bob Ross voice on? So I'm thinking of Barbara Mendes as I am going around my frame. I have been so inspired by her work. She is a prolific, fine, brilliant artist, prophetess, friend, so much more. And you can see her comics, underground comics, with Red 5 Comics, under the name Willy Mendes. You may really enjoy her work. It's just on fire all these years. And the frames she does on her work, from the murals to the scripture work she's done, to the walls she's done, so inspiring. It's funny how this is sort of fading into the back. I love it. Swirling it out. Thank you. I really enjoyed doing the lettering, and one of the fun jobs I was able to get was working as a U.S. Census enumerator in 2010, and for all of those, we went and door to door and helped gather applications that hadn't been completed, and we needed to write in capital letters. So there's trainings on making sure we were having our capital letters correct. So anybody could read these reports because we were all using the same capital letters. You know, those census reports that you get. Oh my God, that job was so thrilling. So thrilling. So thrilling. 2010. That is the dream of every sociology major, is to participate in the U.S. Census in some way, shape, or form, isn't it? Oh, yes. Sociology became a major because of a class called the Sociology of Deviance that I took my sophomore year. I was like, okay, that's my major. Just quadruple checking my lines, see if I want to go over them again. Again. Yep, little over here on the it. You see that? And maybe I'm just going to fast forward this whole thing so you don't even hear what I'm saying. Wouldn't that be fabulous? Put music to it. Because I'm not sure how much sense I made. It's late. And there's so much energy swirling around, and it's the big weekend. I apologize. That's so annoying. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Let's see. It's awesome. Thank you. Get me too, as long as you're there. All right. Okay, here we are. Oops. Our neighbors are so cool. My glasses are fogging up. The water is in the air. So apparently I'm spinning this painting around to get the edges. God willing. It's so funny how it's just needing more layers than I anticipated. Okay. So, I don't know. Woo! Love this place. So much fun. Oh my God, was I doing it again? Okay, let's see. I don't know. I might be done for right now. We've been painting for an hour and 3 minutes. And I still have paint left. And that looks like it needs more. See my toes? So this may get a little more touch up without the camera, so I have a little more freedom. And I'm going to try to speed it up. We'll see what happens. Oh, nope. That was the wrong button.